So Setrag, one of the topics that I get a lot of questions from our members on, and that there's a lot of confusion, is around low code, no code. And I know you've given us a lot of coverage in the book and on your recent articles. So what do process professionals need to know about low code, no code?
That's a great question, Greg, and I'm glad you asked that. Because if you look historically, okay, think about the history of business process management, and it has had many names: intelligent business process management, business process suite, digital process automation. You throw in there other terminology like dynamic case management, the robotic process automation, and I'm just covering some of it. But if you think about that whole industry, and it's been going on for a couple of decades now.
Yeah, we have all the scars to prove it.
Exactly. That very early on, we used to use the term model-driven development, right? So the core of business process management, and you have the BPMN, the standard, etc., or you have the value stream or the Chevron value chain. It's really modeling, right? And one of the big changes that happened, that rather than going from doing just pure modeling, right? And then what do you do next? We started seeing these platforms that allow you not only to model, but execute the
Right.
I mean, that's really,
BPMN.
Exactly.
Welcome BPMN.
Yeah, it's not just a pretty picture; it runs.
Right.
Right.
It's an asset now.
It's an asset, right? It assigns tasks. There are events, right? There are service levels. It's run. It's like programming, right? So it's very important. So it's good when we think about low code, no code. It didn't fall from the sky. I mean, there is a history, and model-driven development is the foundation. Model and execute whatever you're modeling. So the low-code paradigm itself, the low-code, no-code, and we can differentiate between these two, can be used in different domains. I mean, there are so many. Part of the confusion is that there's so many ways to slice it. In some ways, it's a very fragmented market. So the traditional, for the business process professional, think of BPM as low code, no code, right? Absolutely. It's the process centric. So when you model, you think about problems, you start with the process, and the process is the first class citizen. But there is the counterpart to that, and that is the database centric. So there's now a lot of low code, no code platforms that deal with modern spreadsheets or even data modeling and very data centric. And then you're building applications which BPM platforms have. So you have the visual editing of forms for web applications, for mobile applications. All of that are also part of low code, no code. And there are now other domains. For example, I've seen low code, no code for IoT, low code, no code in artificial intelligence, modeling visually the logic or discovering. And then the low code, no code differentiation is also important.
Yeah, but you expand upon that a little bit, because people kind of lump them all together. So that'd be great.
Yeah, part of the problem is that it's fuzzy. Sometimes people use the terms interchangeably. But let me start with no code, which is very important, and use another term there.
All right.
And that is citizen developer. And that's where, in my opinion, we've spoken about digital transformation. That's where the transformation is happening. And again, business process management has a history in that, in the sense that there was this notion of the business process management analyst, right? The process analyst, the business analyst, there are different terms for it. And they were sort of a bridge between the business owner and IT. And now that has evolved. And we're seeing empowerment of citizens. Who are citizens? You're a citizen. I am a citizen. We use productivity tools like PowerPoint, Excel spreadsheet, etc. Why can't regular people who have subject matter expertise, who want to innovate, etc., why can't they build applications just as they can build PowerPoint slides?
Right.
Okay, so I'm simplifying, but really at the core, that's what's happening here.